Hello and welcome everyone to episode 4 of the BZ Cast. My name is Randy. I am your host. I would like to thank you guys by turning into the first 3 episodes. If you haven't yet, you guys definitely should. Today's podcast recording is going to be a little different. There isn't a special guest. It's just me for the recording. I'll be talking the whole time. And I had an idea this morning, posted it around noon Central Time, of doing one with the fans. And I didn't get too many responses. Got a couple. I posted it about if there's anything they would like Bunny Zine, the BZ Cast, to address. Any questions that you guys like to ask us. Anything along those lines. Again, we wouldn't answer anything that's really, health related or the diet, stuff along those lines where you would do some research on rabbit.org or ask your vet about. Again, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. You can First off, I want you check out our current issue. That's still our current issue up until the end of July, and that's the Special House Rabbit edition on bunnyzine.com. Just navigate down the toolbar to the current issue, and it's right there. It's a bunch of fun knowledge of articles from the old House Rabbit and National House Rabbit Society, and it's just a really fun read, and it presents a lot of knowledge and some stuff. I learned a couple of new things reading it, and I think you guys definitely will too. Speaking of the House Rabbit Society, if you are a House Rabbit member, which is you donate $20, I believe it's $20 to the National House Rabbit Society in Richmond, California, you get a journal. I don't know the exact details of the journal, but I just received mine earlier this week. I'm recording this on Thursday, 7/23/2015, and it's actually a really good informal read. It's 12 pages. You wouldn't think so with me just saying that, and it's a small issue, but there's a lot packed in. It's to give you guys a little preview. I've read the whole thing. They talk about their efforts, their international efforts around the world. There's a good story in here about international travel and flying with your bunny. So that's a good read if you ever come across it. I'm not entirely sure also if you get this issue by just like signing up now. You might get, it says in the corner summer 2015. You guys might get like a fall issue in the mail if they do a fall one. But yeah, it's a fun, good read. And they also provide a little update on the very last page on the whole Whole Foods situation, which is a very crazy, like, big topic in our bunny world. Again, the guys with the social media accounts, I always start off every episode with reading them. On Instagram, official Bunny Zine. On Facebook, just as Bunny Zine. And then on Instagram at official Bzine. We are slowly but getting there, progressing and getting you guys involved. That's our goal, is to get you guys involved, let you guys have a little more fun, whether it's getting your bunnies pictures in our e-magazines, or like today, I thought of this idea with the fan questions. It could have been like a posting, maybe a bad posting time on my part, but because I only got a couple of responses, I will read those responses towards the end of the recording. Again, there's no time limit, so I'm not entirely sure how long this will go today. Also, a quick shout out to a friend, Penny Collins, who's a friend of Bunny Zine. She is doing a very interesting series that I believe just started Monday. Yeah, started Monday, and it's the debate and of adopting from a pet store or not adopting from a pet store. I think most of us believe that it's way, way more important and better to help out a rescue than to buy from a pet store. We just actually discussed it. Penny and I discussed in episode 2 of the BZ Cast. Make sure you guys check those out first. First of all, check out those first 3 episodes. They're really, really packed with a lot of good conversation about everything there is in the bunny world. Those comics, those comic series that she started, she will be releasing, probably be releasing a new one Friday. And can't wait to see it, so check those out. She is search regarding comic on Tumblr, and she is at Studio. I'm not sure on her Twitter handle again, but she's regarding comic on Tumblr. You can see her a whole series of work if you haven't yet. Her stuff gets posted to the House Rabbit group page. I'm sure you guys have seen most of it already through the House Rabbit groups and so forth. Going down my show notes. Sorry about that. It was running super late with the starting of the recording, and I thought it would also be important to give you guys some more time in case some of you maybe didn't see the post. You know, Facebook is really weird with their news feed. That's why I also bring up the Twitter and the Instagram. Those are a little more organized, their news feeds, whereas Facebook is sometimes a little all over the place. You see like popular, quote-unquote popular posts. So that's why I say check them all out. Our podcast, remember this podcast and the other previous podcasts are on YouTube. They are on SoundCloud and they're on iTunes podcast. The iTunes is for you guys with the iPads, iPod touches, iPhones. The iTunes podcast has a little app now. You search Bunny's on BZ Cast, and you should see our first 3 episodes, and you should also see this episode come up. There was a really weird issue with episode 3 to where you had to subscribe for episode 3 to come up, and then episode 3 kind of appeared like a day and a half later. It was a day and a half later. It was really odd. I was in conversation with Apple because it was weird. You can only really play it. You couldn't even really download it. You could only like play it, and then it ended up being downloadable like I said, a day and a half, 2 days later. I hope that issue doesn't happen again. SoundCloud.com is for you guys who don't want to tune into YouTube and you don't have an iPhone. SoundCloud is just a website or an app you can download off of Google Play for you guys with the Android phones. And listen to our show. Same thing, search Bunny's on BZ Cast, and you'll see all of our episodes right there in audio form. You could just play it and probably exit out of your app and just listen to us and do whatever else you're doing. That's what I do with iTunes. I have an iPhone with iTunes podcast. That's what I do. I can download it, play it, and lock my phone. It'll play, and then I can do whatever else I'm doing. So nice and convenient. That's trying to better the experience for you guys. I haven't really given you guys a proper introduction of myself. Dustin brought me into as I talked in episode 3 with Dustin, he brought me in onto the team, I believe, in early April, and let me handle the Twitter account, and it was actually like the weekend of Easter, like Easter weekend, I believe. So, I'm currently 26 years old, just actually recording my very first episode in my house that we just purchased a couple of weeks ago, so nice and peace and quiet for this recording, which is pretty nice. I never really came across bunnies. at all outside of the wild ones. I never really knew anyone with even a pet bunny up until I met my fiance. Um, when I actually did meet her, she had a small, I want to say, dwarf bunny who was sick with pneumonia, and he shortly passed away afterwards. Um, but what really changed was Milo. I brought up again in the last episode with Dustin, who is the creator of Bunnyzine. Again, check that out. You guys will learn a lot about Bunnyzine and the beginning of it and the direction that we're aiming to go at. So check that out. But going back, Milo was life changing. He really was. I saw animals in a new, complete light, and bunnies in a new, and just had this passion for bunnies, and it took some time because of opposite work schedules, but when everything kind of settled down, and he had his own little bedroom, he was free range. He was amazing. He was an amazing bunny. He went over the Rainbow Bridge last October, and it was devastating. And it stunk because I didn't really get to share him that much outside of YouTube, which if you like YouTube, Milo loves pillows. Milo loves pillow or pillows. Sorry. And that's his most popular one. That's the one that I show to my friends and family to this day and say, yeah, this is the goofball that I got to wake up to every day. That would jump up in the bed at like 5:30 in the morning and wanted to lay down next to me, or was give me a hint, hey, feed me. He was a between 14, 15 pound Flemish giant, so he's a big boy. It changed and he just meant so much. I mean, me being a part of Bunnyzine really doesn't happen unless Milo comes into my life, and I'm completely grateful for him and for that. I wish, just like all of you that have lost bunnies, we all wish they were still here. It just doesn't seem like they lived long enough. He was pretty healthy, but out of nowhere, and I still feel grateful that my fiance recognized that he just kind of looked different and was acting different, and it was stasis. There's GI stasis, which I know most of you know by now. If you don't, it's just a deadly stomach problem. That's the best way I could describe it off the top of my head right now. And a big sign of it is either not going to the bathroom and not eating, or I would say both. Again, signs that I can think of off the top of my head. That's something you should definitely look up on rabbit.org, because it is very common. It's very treatable as well. A lot of bunnies pass it. A lot of bunnies have it multiple times and still live pretty long lives. But yeah, he was only 4 years old, and he passed away after being in the hospital for 3 days. So it gets a little hard to talk about live on the show without getting a tad bit emotional, because it's almost closing in on like a year, and it still hurts. So that is, like I said, Milo was my inspiration into the BZcast. I started to interact with you guys on Twitter, and it's a lot of fun. There's a great community on Twitter. If you guys aren't on there, you should definitely check it out. There's a lot of bunny pages. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram is full of a lot of bunny pages, a little community. And I think that's pretty awesome, that you can share pictures and videos and moments. And, those are always up there, unless you delete your account or something. Those are always up there. That's what I think is cool. That, you could lose a picture or some files can burn out, but, sharing them on Facebook, putting your photo album or even putting them in a separate file on an external drive or something like that. Those are special. I still watch Milo's videos till this day. I have a ton. It's eating up space in my phone, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. I actually prefer it that it eats up so I can't put any more nonsense stored on my phone. We do for the first time. So that's pretty much my introduction, and then I've kind of light bulb idea for the BZ Cast when we said we were going to keep going after Dustin got the new laptop. Again, thank you guys for funding that. That was amazing. That was really, really amazing that you guys really came through to help us. And Bunny's Zen got to keep going, and we kind of hit the ground running. And we're aiming to give you guys a different experience and to give you guys more. But going into, we do have a preview, and I hope to release it. It's actually scheduled for Saturday. I just talked to the guest. Her name is Katie Straka, Straka. She is the admin for the Bridge Bunnies Forever in Our Hearts page, and that's a different kind of page to where I'll just sum it up. I'll let her go into more detail of the page, but I'll just sum it up that it's a good page for people to grieve and share their moments of their bunny that passed away. Which I know is like a touchy subject, but I still think it is important to talk about, the kind of life experience that we had with our bunnies up until the day they unfortunately leave us. So that's the preview. I actually just spoke with Katie through the Facebook messages. That's how I pretty much try to set up all my guesses through Facebook message or Twitter message or email. We'll be recording that on Saturday, and hopefully I want to release this one in a couple days before July ends, and then I'll release the one with Katie on the Bridge Bunnies page maybe the first week of August, a couple days after our new issue comes out. Remember, our new issues do come out the first of every month, so August 1st is right around the corner, so make sure you guys subscribe. If you subscribe to bunnyzine.com, and the little, again, on the navigation toolbar, you can scroll down to subscribe. It gets emailed to you. The link to open up and download it gets emailed to you. And that's nice and convenient, again, because the Facebook news feed is just a pain sometimes. So that's our next episode, and going into that, we're flying by. I'm currently loading the Facebook page as we speak to go into the fan questions. Okay, so the same questions are still there that were asked. I will preference this, that these two questions that are asked, I do not have a lot of knowledge in. Again, these are questions that I would defer to a vet or some, possibly finding this info on rabbits.org. I have, first question, I will go with Joyce Michelle Cohen. Again, these questions were left in the comment section, or I threw out the email. I will tell you guys about the email and what you can do with it in a couple of minutes, or through the email. She said, I would love to know about the alternative things we can do for our pets, such as safe herbs and chiropractic treatments. Again, that is a question that I can only recommend to a vet. I heard through, read through the House Rabbit group pages, people have discussed those. I don't really know what works and doesn't work. It's something that I didn't try. Again, Milo, from my own personal experience, Milo was my only bunny and he was only 4, so no issues that I came across in my personal experience where I would need that. I think it's something you would just have to ask your vet. I don't blame you for looking into it. I think it's I'd say whatever alternative options that you think are safe, that your vet could agree with you that are safe, I'd say go for it. But my best answer is that I could respectfully say, with no experience in the matter, is that to just speak with your vet on it. There's only one other question, and Floyd funds are spaying female rabbits is an interesting and controversial topic, and also the endless one bunny pet bonding. That is not I've kind of heard of this controversy. Myself, in personal experience, Milo was the only bunny I had, one male bunny. I don't completely know the controversy, quote unquote, the controversy. All I could say is I just know, I actually, you know what, through the House Rabbit Journal, there is a very good piece. I think it was written by Ann Martin. I have it on me. Kedzie, you could, if you want, you could show this. I'm holding up the issue up to the camera for a split second. Kedzie is on the Bunny Design development team who has been doing all the editing for these BZcasts. She's been doing an amazing job. Give her a quick shout out while I'm looking at her. Yeah, Ann Martin, who is our guest of the first episode. She is the executive director at the National House Rabbit Society headquarters in Richmond, California, which is where this issue comes from, and it's titled Helping Strays Get Spayed. So, from what I remember reading in this, it's just overall through Anne and through that short, 2-page article on that, is that it's just recommended to get spayed to avoid, I think there was some kind of urine cancer that Anne mentioned, some form of urinary cancer, that's the right term, urinary cancer they are at risk for, females are. I remember Anne mentioning that in the article, and I would definitely say Anne is a very, very good source for all things bunnies. She's a bunny saving machine over in Richmond, California. And for his second question, the endless one bunny pet, bonding. I guess there is a little bit of a question of bonding your bunnies. I believe Ann and I discussed it in the first episode of the BZcast. I haven't in my own personal experience, have not yet to do it. I've always been interested in it. As soon as I get all situated in the house, I literally have nothing behind me. I'm in I have the laptop recording on a kitchen counter. I got the microphone on the kitchen counter, and I'm sitting on a step ladder. No furniture in the house, but when I get all situated, we will adopt again. And it's always an idea of adopting 2 for bonding, and so one has a mate, a friend that's there all day when someone is not at the house. They're kept company. I I can understand if someone wouldn't want to bond. I think the scariest thing for bond that people see that could scare them away from getting a second bunny to bond, and this is just through seeing posts in the House Rabbit group pages, those which I would definitely suggest you guys should definitely join and check out if you're not already. Just a lot of interesting bunny discussion in that group page about people and their personal experience, and it's you can learn a lot. And the one going back to the bonding, the one thing is that they're not really sure what to do if one bunny passes away while they're bonded and the other one, they, from what I've read in the past, again, I would always refer to rabbit.org in this kind of situation. I would never tell you guys not to bond your bunnies or to definitely do it. I would say always refer to rabbits.org to look up that information. That website covers everything. But I can definitely understand your thought process of it, and that's again the best answer that I can give in the situation is to bond, not to bond, but to look up the information, do your research on the bonding, and decide whether it's the best for you, your family, and your household, and if it's the best thing for your bunny. Again, Ann and I spoke about it, and I think from what I remember, she spoke about the positive experience that it can bring to your bunny, to your bunny at home. And then, let's see here. I believe, looking at my little show notes that I got going on over here, I believe that is it as far as, that's it for fan questions. I will do a quick check to see. No, that's it for the 2 fan questions. I would like to thank Floyd and Joyce for asking those. We're going to try to do this a little more often. For our guests, all of our guests have agreed to do fan questions. Katie actually just messaged me for what would be episode 5 that we'll record on Saturday, that she will do fan questions, which is awesome. So anything that you guys would want to know about the Bridge Bunnies page, any questions to ask Katie, just you'll post them in the comments section of the post, where I'll post about her as being as our guest Friday morning, which will be long. You guys will have listened to this sometime next week, so I know that timing is kind of weird, but so. I think I've ended the first, at least 2 out of the 3 that I can remember, with my PBSA, my Public Bunny Service announcement, and it's just something that's completely off, not Bunnyzine related, just, my own opinion. This is something that Dustin and I talked about a little bit in episode 3 of the BZcast, and that is just downloads. The strength of your downloads and sharing it and getting more people to download is our goal. And of course, there's one day that I would love to have Bunnyzine as my full-time job, and we're all making money. I think that's everyone's goal when they go into something, they get into a company, a website, whatever you want to call it, to do that. But our goal right now is to help out rescues. And every time you guys download, it increases our, how do you want to say this? It makes us look better, and the more likes on Facebook, the more followers on Twitter, followers on Instagram. We want to grab attention of the bigger companies. That's something that Dustin actually almost directly, pretty much the same thing I just said. Get attention to the bigger companies so that we, the normal bunny parents, don't have to, when you see a bunny that needs $500 for a surgery at a rescue, or else they're not going to be able to do the surgery and they don't know if the bunny will live. That's something that the bunny people who are, have lives, full-time lives and families and bunnies of their own to donate, which you guys are amazing for doing that. Every time I see something on like change.org, a post up there about, funds need to be raised for this bunny mostly it's like surgeries or these, as bad as it sounds, there are bunnies that need to be adopted in like a short time window, or they're euthanized, and it's horrible. It is. It's really horrible. It makes me mad every time I see that. But we could help avoid that. The more you guys download, the more attention that we gain from some of the bigger companies. And Dustin actually provided an example. If we had like 1 million followers, our featured rescue, which is right now crazy, but if we had 10,000 followers, every rescue would get a certain amount of money just based out of our following. Again, the example he used was like $1 million. Each rescue would get $1,000 a month. I mean, that would be immense if a rescue got $1,000. That's a lot of food that can go towards a medical treatment, again, surgery, and all you're helping the people that save bunny lives, and that's what we go for. That's why we ask you guys to donate. Every dollar counts to donate when you guys do download our issues. But the downloads themselves are very, very important. So that is my public bunny PBSA, public bunny service announcement. I would like to thank you guys for listening. Got over a little over a half hour, which isn't bad for just me talking and stuttering the whole time. I'd like to thank you guys for listening. You should be able to find this on, like I said, on YouTube.com, on SoundCloud.com, or even I never mentioned that YouTube does. I think it's almost obvious by now. Have an app where you can subscribe, and you can actually set up your phone. I do, where if you're subscribed to a YouTube channel and they upload a new video, you'll get like a notification on your phone, I think that's pretty cool. You can do that, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever you'll just get a little email or notification that, hey, we uploaded a new video. If you are on SoundCloud, you can subscribe. I think it's subscribers, or I don't remember if it's subscribers or followers. We have a few on SoundCloud. And again, subscribe on the iTunes podcast. I think if you subscribe, you should be able to listen to our show and avoid any issues. That's the safe way. Not trying to just get you guys to subscribe for subscription numbers. That's just the safe way if iTunes decides not to upload it for some weird reason for 2 days again, which was really, really odd. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But either way, subscribe to those channels on iTunes Podcast. Search Bunnyzine BZcast. Don't forget our Special House Rabbit Society Special Edition issue. Go to bunnyzine.com, navigate down on the toolbar to current issue. And again, going back to the downloading and donating, every penny, dollar helps. The rescues really, really appreciate it. And again, our overall goal is to gain more attention so that the regular, normal, everyday person doesn't have to take money out of their own wallet to help other bunnies. The bigger companies will help the bunnies in need. Again, I would like to thank you guys for listening, and Jeez. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Again, I would like to thank you guys for listening for the third time, ending the show. And stay tuned on those social media pages for more updates. Thank you.